You know, we all talk about equity in education, but what does it actually look like in a real classroom? How do you take this big, important idea and turn it into something you can actually see and do day in and day out? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
Right? This is the question, isn't it? It's the real challenge. It's not enough to just believe in equity. The goal is to make it so real, so tangible that anyone, a principal, another teacher, a parent, could walk into your room and just know it's happening.
Okay, so before we dive in, let's get one thing straight, because this is super important. We have to understand the difference between fairness and sameness. Sameness, or equality, is giving every student the exact same worksheet, the same book, the same everything. But fairness, that's equity. It's about giving each student exactly what they need to be successful. Big difference.
So how do we make that fairness visible? How do we put it into action? The good news is there's a playbook for this, and we're about to open it up.
It really boils down to three key pillars. First, we personalize. Then, we empower. And finally, we build an inclusive culture. Think of these as our roadmap. If you can build these three things, you're well on your way. Let's tackle them one by one.
First up in our playbook is pillar number 1, personalized learning pathways. This is all about customizing the journey so that every single student can get where they need to go.
And here is the absolute key to making this work. It's not about lowering the bar or having different goals for different kids. No way. The learning objective is the same for everybody. We're just building different paths, different staircases, if you will, to help every student reach that same high bar.
So what does this look like in practice? Well, here's a perfect concrete example. Imagine a reading assignment. Everyone is working on understanding the main idea, but the questions are tiered. Some students might be working on just identifying the main idea, others might be finding the best sentence to support it, and some might be analyzing how the author builds that argument. Same learning target, just different levels of complexity.
Another really powerful way to build those staircases is through scaffolding. I'm sure you've heard of the I do, we do, you do model. It's a classic for a reason. You show them how it's done, you practice together, and then you let them try it on their own. It's a fantastic way to make sure no one gets left behind.
And finally, for this pillar, let's talk about tools and access. Having fair access isn't just about having a class set of iPads. It's about using them equitably. Simple moves like rotating devices, always having printed copies for kids who struggle with screens, or offering text-to-speech, these things can be total game changers.
Okay, on to our second pillar, empowering student voices. An equitable classroom is definitely not a quiet one where kids just sit and listen. It's a place that is buzzing with the ideas, the questions, and the perspectives of every single student in that room.
And a fantastic way to make this happen is by offering choice. Check this out, a learning menu. It lets students show what they know in a way that actually plays to their strengths. So maybe the artistic kid draws a comic strip, while another student records a quick audio clip. They're all showing the same understanding, just in their own way.
Because that's what happens when you give students choice. You're sending them a really powerful message. You're saying your voice matters. Your way of seeing this matters. It shifts everything from just getting students to comply to getting them genuinely engaged.
We've all been there, right? That group project where one kid does all the work and the others just hang out. Well, assigning roles is such a simple but brilliant fix. When one person is the reader, one is the writer, one is the timekeeper, everyone has a clear job. It makes sure everyone has a reason to participate.
So how do you really know if everyone is with you? It's so easy to just call on that one student who always has their hand up. But to be truly equitable, you need to hear from everyone. Tools like mini whiteboards or a quick thumbs up/thumbs down give you a real-time snapshot of the entire class in seconds.
All right, that brings us to our third and final pillar, which is really the foundation for everything else we've talked about: building an inclusive culture. This is all about creating a classroom where every single student feels seen, feels valued, and feels safe enough to learn. Now, these might seem like small things, but trust me, their impact is huge. Taking the time to pronounce every student's name correctly, weaving examples from different cultures into your lessons. These actions send a clear, powerful message. You belong here. We see you. This is how you build the trust you need for real learning to happen.
A massive part of an inclusive, equitable culture is holding high expectations for every single student. You make this visible by having that learning target posted clearly on the board, by showing everyone exactly what success looks like.
When everyone knows the goal and you truly believe they can all get there, you create a culture of achievement for all. I absolutely love this quote. Think about how powerful this is. In an equitable classroom, mistakes aren't something to be ashamed of. They're opportunities. They're the starting point for growth. Using language like this creates a space where it's safe to take risks.
So, we've walked through all three pillars: personalize, empower, and include. What does it all look like when it comes together? What's that snapshot of a truly equitable classroom?
This right here, this quote just brings it all home. In a visibly equitable classroom, you don't even have to ask if it's equitable, you can just see it. You see engaged kids working on different things, making choices, supporting each other. That's what it looks like. That's equity in action.
So I'll leave you with this question. Look, you don't have to change everything all at once. That's overwhelming. Just think, what's one small move, one little thing you can try tomorrow to make your classroom just a little bit more equitable? Because every single one of those small steps makes a huge difference.